So at Brands Hatch with Time Attack, some of the brave competitors have lent me their car for the day, set a benchmark time. Look at these things. I mean, you can't get more variety than that. Pretty amazing. So I'm giving them some tuning advice ahead of the next round here at Brands Hatch, June the 19th, Tuner Fest. So come and get involved. Look up Time Attack, learn what it's about on Google, check it out on their website, get some tickets and come and see these beasts in action. First car up is the Mini. Let's go meet the owner. Nice to meet you. Can you tell me a bit about it? And are you all ready for this? Because we're out in 10 minutes. Is that
yeah,
gonna be okay?
just doing checking fluids and things like that. Yeah, no worries at all. I bought it new from dealer. That was 6.5 years ago, and it's turned into this. So last season I managed a 55.4.
Okay.
I've tweaked the damping a little bit for you.
And how much power are you knocking out of this engine?
Today, about 370.
Yeah. All right, well I'll get in, get used to it, push hard, and try and get the best time I can for you.
Yeah, just please don't break it.
I won't break it. All right. I was just inspecting the wing.
Yeah. Mini Challenge is finest. The diffuser is a replica. It's non-functional.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this is functional either.
No.
I'll be in the pits, any problems come in. It's like the first time you leave your child with someone.
I'm going to give it a few laps before I really trust it in the braking areas. Not least just to make sure he's torqued the wheels enough.
Too early? Brake too early? Yeah, it's braking too early.
I'm going to get myself into Time Attack mode because I'm here to rinse the ultimate time out of this machine, and that is what I plan to do today.
Oh, I'm nervous, but he's supposed to be a good driver, so it's alright. In the car I've got the Garmin catalyst rolling, so I'll be able to get some data. I don't know if you count that as cheating, but...
Find some good space on the track with a bunch of Lola T70s or whatever these things are. They're bloody fast and they're in the way.
He's absolutely flying out there. He's overtaking things, I'm pretty sure.
There he comes. He's quicker.
Well, that's a 54.3. That's not bad. Well, that was fun. So, having never met the man in my life, Andy trusted me with the keys to his beloved Mini, and I've never driven this car before, and he's done a great job with it.
The car went out, it was alright. It went into limp mode. It's going to be a little sensor that nobody saw. It cut his session short, but he got some good time out of it. Got some good feedback from him, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. You happy with it?
As soon as you go out, you can feel the car pulling a little bit on the power, more so than in a normal Mini. So it's got quite an aggressive setup in the diff, which is basically putting the power from the engine down through the wheels and dividing that power up. You can feel the car really hunting for a direction when you accelerate, and that's actually helping you get around the corner, because normally front wheel drive cars understeer and plow on. He thought the car was very aggressive, but actually it's quite benign, quite easy to drive, and the only bit I needed to get used to really was just really how much grip it had for cornering. He was right about the braking. He has got very sharp brakes in this car. That works really well. The biggest thing he's going to be working on is the electronics. So we had a little fault there, which, you know, it's one of those things, but that's the last thing you want to happen when you've got your car set up, got your new tyres, you're ready for a Time Attack, and then the car goes into limp mode because of a little sensor that's gotten upset. I mean, he's got to clean out some accessories. This is just extra weight, baggage. With the exception of the willy warmer, I think he can keep that. It's got a bit of character to it. I like that. That is a lucky charm. And I think, yeah, it's going to be about electronic tuning, and therefore you can probably look at maximising some power output from this engine too. But yeah, I loved it. His best lap was a mid 55. We've done a low 54, and hopefully I'll get a chance to go back out again and improve on that, so we'll see. Now the next car couldn't be more different from the Mini, but the Nissan GTR, massive power, big aero, lots of grip. G'day.
Are you alright?
How's it going? You alright, Ben?
Yes, lovely to meet you, Jack.
Nice to meet you, Jack. So this is your baby?
It is, yes.
Have you done much to it?
Yes,
Litchfield have done most of the work on this car.
Okay,
but
so you didn't do it yourself?
No, Litchfield have built the car.
Professionals.
Yeah,
Very sensible.
If I did this, everything would be back to front. That would be this side, and yeah. It wouldn't be very good. So I think that's probably best they did
well,
it.
Litchfield know what they're doing, don't they? And this aero is modified.
So this is Litchfield's carbon splitter.
Yeah.
I've actually put this on the underneath.
Who put this on? You or them?
Me. I've done that. That's my.
Yeah. You've modified their modification.
I have modified their modification.
Yeah.
So I got one of my joiner friends to make this.
So your joiner made that. Litchfield did the carbon fibre, and your joiner has added some wood. So you've added some wood.
Buffalo board though, so you know we went all out with it.
Have you driven around Brands Hatch before?
I have never driven around Brands Hatch myself.
Have you seen some of the curbs here?
Yes.
I'm mildly concerned that your joiner's work could end up getting playing down.
It's already got a bit of damage from Alton.
And suspension-wise, Litchfield have played with that?
Yeah,
damping?
so we've got, Litchfield have done the geometry, but the actual suspension is Nitron. Right. So it's a full Nitron, the RT3 kit. We also got SPL camber arms and rear arms and everything just to try and help with the geometry, because we run 4 degrees of camber up front. Yeah. Just to try and get as much contact patch through the core.
And can you adjust this on the fly? Can we play with it?
Someone can.
Not you.
Not me.
All right, fair enough.
If you want the wheels to stay on, it's probably best to left it.
That's fine. All right, well, let's maximise what you've got. There's a massive amount of performance here. So is this your first season of Time Attack?
This is my first time competing in this car, yes.
Right, and you've gone straight in with this monster?
Yeah, I thought I'd throw myself into the deep end with this thing, so.
So how did round 1 at Cadwell go? I mean, that's an insane track, insane vehicle.
Cadwell wasn't the perfect track for this, but it surprised me. I think it surprised a few people. It walked away with a lap record and a win on both days, so I was chuffed.
Amazing. All right, well, do you know what the lap record is here, give or take?
We're in the 50s at the moment, and I want this to go sub 50.
Fair play.
Hopefully.
All right, well, I'll give it my best shot. I'll give you some feedback, and then you can take it from there.
Awesome.
And yeah, anything that's missing or left on the table, you can engineer it in.
Wicked.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Andy Barnes. What was it? What was the Bentley 46 what? Say 46 too. So even now we have to see, because if you put a proper driver in now. No, Duncan, what did you do? Minute. I think he only had 3 wheels attached though.
So you press the cruise control button. There should be a little cruise button there.
Right.
And as soon as you press cancel now, it'll give you full boost.
So can I press that now or later?
When you're on, you'll see what I mean. So all you do, come out the corner, hold it. It'll give you full boost for as long as you hold it for. As soon as you let off, you go back down to normal power.
What do you reckon? I'm going, it's going to be somewhere in the 48, sorry.
Yeah, 48.8. Sub 50, it'd be nice if we can do that.
All right, here we go. Winder up. Temps are up.
It's working now. It's working now.
Nice little bit of speed here into paddock. Hit the boost. Here she goes. Oh yes.
I think it reels them in down the straights and then struggles through the corners.
To bang in the ultimate time without getting that coolant temperature too hot. It's all about balancing tyre temperature and not overcooking that engine. Boost, 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 boost! Feeling good, this lap feels good.
It's so loud, isn't it?
Here we go, go, wrong, go.
Got LMPs everywhere. Holding them back was not easy. Okay, that's a 50.1. I cannot call it enough. So even on that lap, towards the end, you start losing power.
Should we turn it down, see if it,
well,
that'll work?
Wait, what? Just drive without the boost?
Yeah, just try it without that.
I can do, but
See what
I can't get rid of this temperature. I got 1 lap. That's it. So it's really it's unfortunate. So I got 1 clean lap. It was fairly good, but not amazing. Everything's working. It gets hot, so I can do one hard lap. Yeah. And then, but really, it was at its best straight out of the box. Yeah, and now I'm really fighting to do the same time. And the feeling I get is that the power. There's this, obviously the boost, but I think as soon as you do a lap, the whole power seems to fade. Yeah. The potential's there, and you know it's just infuriating. Yeah. So yeah, but it's so close. But anyway, still, is that a personal best for the car?
Yeah, no, it's the lap record for Time Attack, but it just. Yeah.
Well, it's nice that you know there's more in it.
Yeah. The real challenge is if I can beat Ben's time. There's the real challenge.
what a beast, 1,000 horsepower GTR, but actually when the track gets hot, the sun's out, you don't get 1,000 horsepower. You get more like 800 maybe, in fact less than that, because that's only on the boost button you're getting 1,000. So I think probably we're getting 650 to about 800 with the boost when you press the cancel button. So it's quite a tough day for him, because obviously he's had this tuned and it's got capability of huge power, but getting that reliability where you can get that continuously to produce a good lap time, you need a few laps here to get yourself in sync for a maximum attack. So I'm fully expecting that to be a rip snorting T-Rex, a complete handful, and be opposite lock all the way around the lap. 1,000 horsepower, that's what you tend to get, even though it's four-wheel drive. I still expected a complete beast. Actually, the car's quite tame. You get a good shoot of power down the straights, but in fact in the corners it had really quite heavy understeer, so it couldn't carry the speed around the corner, couldn't go fast enough to get the tail out basically. Even coming out of clearways onto the straight there in third gear and really being patient with the throttle and giving it full beans, it didn't really knock the tail out. It couldn't really balance and tune and trim the car on the power as you would expect to with that much horsepower. So even though we went underneath the lap record for the class, that's kind of cool, we did a low 50, I think really there's a lot of work to do there with the suspension. So if they can free up the front end and try and get some more steering control into that car, I reckon it'll go about 2 seconds a lap quicker, and they'll make the most of all that boost and horsepower. Obviously there's a bit of a reliability thing, they had a bit of an unfortunate one with the cooling. That probably is quite an easy fix, but the handling will take some thinking. But I do think that when they cure that and they start to fine-tune the suspension, get a bit of toe, maybe get some more rotation into the car, that is going to be an absolute monster on the track. Done that one. Done that one. What is this? It's a drift car. Talk me through this, because this time attack, you've got your drift car. How does that work?
Not really set up for straight line grip,
right.
Just sideways grip, like side bite. Throw it into a corner, plant your foot, hope you're going where you want to go.
Right.
Yeah, sort of. She's only 700 brake, so not as quite as powerful as some of these cars.
That's a lot of power. A lot of power to get down on fairly small wheels. So this is the thing. So this car, have you done any changes? Because normally these are built to go sideways. The geometry is set to go sideways. Look at the steering angle.
Yeah, we got probably like 70 degrees a lot, probably a bit more, but we've got stock lots. We've got 2.5, 3 degrees of camber, just so the leading wheel is always flat against the tarmac. So as much grip in the front as possible. People think that you don't want any grip in the rear, but we want grip, because if you don't have grip, you ain't going to catch the car in front of you.
All right, so you have thought this through?
Yeah, it's not just thrown together.
All right.
We can normally bend it back out, stick the parts back on and carry on, or we can just make a new frame up, basically.
All right, magic. Speaking of damage, we're going to get T-boned by that truck.
We're going to get told off now as well?
No, we're okay. It's gone to put out a fire.
That's all right then.
So what's powering this thing?
It's a BMW M50 B25.
Right.
1 mil overbore, fully forged, CP pistons, rods, the lot. There's not really a lot else I can do with it. On pure ethanol, he's 720 brake.
Yeah.
On pump fuel, I think he's about 650.
What are we running today?
We got about 50%, so he's about 700 for you.
Okay.
We've got the hydraulic handbrake, which you probably ain't going to need unless you're throwing it in.
Yeah.
You've got the gear motive gear stick. You've got the line lock for when we do rolling burnouts. And then right down there, we've got the bias valve, which I don't really touch.
Okay, where's the bias?
Right down in here. Just so you can, he's all the way in at the moment, but if you want some more to the rear wheels, just take him out.
You just put 10 turns on it. So normally for me, you normally put a tiny amount. So that, do you have to turn it a lot to make a difference or what?
I don't really know.
Any other mystery buttons I should be aware of?
The accelerator?
They've got that covered.
You've got that covered, that's all right then. If it does set on fire, just
get out.
Pull that and
you want me to fight the fire?
Well, you can do. The pull cord's down there.
Copy that. Rear differential, what have you done?
She's a welded diff. But it's a it's a 210 mil solid rear end.
So it's solid. So it's like a spool, but it's what you've welded it.
It's welded, so it'll try and push you on.
So both rear wheels will turn at the same speed. So you actually I've driven one of those in Australia in a V8. Excellent. Right. All right. Well, let's find out. Quite a lot to take in there, because I've never driven a drift car to go fast, only to go sideways. It sounds like he hasn't either. So both of us are in for an experiment. It's going to be fun.
It will be, definitely. I want to see you broad sideways into that corner.
Sideways is slow.
That's what we're all about though.
I know it is, but
I don't know, I reckon I could probably get around that corner faster sideways than you can straight.
I think trying to do a lap time in a drift car is quite interesting.
It probably will do quite well in a straight line, because you'd struggle to spin them in third.
Yeah, but
So-
I don't think I've not seen a video of people trying to go fast in drift cars.
No, I got
It's niche.
I've
It's
got an
definitely
804 brake E34 on the road, and
Yeah.
she's 4th gear. You're starting to get grip. So
All right, let's see what happens.
let's go.
This feels weird. Oh, wow, that's got a lot of power. Hell of a lot of power. All right, let's see what the braking's like. Oh shit! Woo! This car wants to do is go sideways, control. Oh man! Oh my god! Oh, this is silly.
Go on!
Jesus Christ! Oh my god! That's pure comedy. I mean, total farce, basically. I love this car, don't get me wrong, it's a great drift car, but as a track car, you're having a laugh. It's basically just sliding everywhere. As soon as you touch the throttle, you're sliding. And the gears, of course, the way they drive them in drift, and they smack the gears down, it's all very aggressive. And that's how it wants to be driven, but on a circuit, when you're trying to be smooth and balanced and sort of like, you know, Princess and the Pea, this is not exactly a precision tool for dialing in at very, very sensitive braking zones and tiptoeing into a corner. This thing wants to be smashed and grabbed, thrown sideways and controlled on the handbrake and with the clutch and with the throttle. So there's people out there, I'm sure, watching me going around in their pretty prototypes and their grippy GTs thinking, what is this guy playing at? Because they're basically tail out everywhere.
Cooking the brakes.
And the brakes are smoking. I came in because there's a smoky smell.
Yeah, the brakes.
So I set fire to the brakes. But there you go, that's what testing's for.
Yeah.
Are they okay?
Yeah, go on, carry on.
No, okay, let's have a look.
Temps are good, so.
Yeah.
Well, this is me dooring Ollie, and the other side's me dooring Hayes. Dooring.
Wheel banging.
Dooring. That's Ollie's paint.
Yeah.
I did say sorry.
Well, it does stick out a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I said sorry.
Yeah.
His door didn't open, and there's a video I think he's got.
That's as well, isn't it? Because you whacked him, he could have got out and punched you.
We normally, whenever I drive with Ollie, we normally
quite
crash.
civilised.
I will say crash now, but yeah, his door was caved in and dooring him, and then I put my arm in, bashed it all back out, and it was brand new.
The car or his face?
No, his car.
Right.
No, we're friendly.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, we don't really cry about things like this. It's with the nature.
That's good. I love to. It's a bit of civilised competition. That's all we need.
Yeah, if you're not rubbing, you're not racing.
Yeah. You're not racing though, are you? Drifting.
Same thing.
I've got a question for you though. How many turns do you take between clearways and paddock?
We could probably do, if we're coming over the brow, we've probably got a manji.
Sorry, one more. In English.
Manji is transition from the left
Yeah.
to the right,
Yeah.
back to the left.
So it's an S.
No, it's a manji.
Right. It's a manji S. So you come out there sideways, okay?
Then your transition, you come out
So
left.
it's 1, 2, 3, and then turn right for paddock.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, and then you go into the paddock, and then I can imagine you be rubbing the wall.
Yeah.
Hence, you're doing all right. We've got to.
I've not rubbed any walls.
No, we nearly did at Silverstone. Thanks, I lack of that now.
That makes sense.
The only
doesn't
problem
it?
is I'm not going to be able to paint the roof again.
Ever.
Never going to damage it, I hope. Otherwise,
Try not to scratch the roof.
I
That's
don't know,
normally quite a big one.
I've had the best day. I mean, I got to drive this 1,000 horsepower GTR. Got to drive a Mini with 360 horsepower, homemade by Andy. He's done a great job with that. And I drove a drift car for a lap time. Who's ever done that before? This is what you get at Time Attack. Great variety, amazing range, great innovation from all these guys who are tuning these things to the max. So check out TunerFest June 19. Come to Brands Hatch. See these guys putting these things through their paces. And good luck to everybody taking part. Have a wicked weekend.